بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم أخرجني من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمني بنور الفهم اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us tawfiq to continue our studies of Bidayat al-Hikmah. This is the third session. We talk about the third chapter of the first section, Al-Marhalatul Ula, Al-Fasl al-Thalith. After talking about the concept of existence or wujud being badihi, being self-evident, then we talked about the concept of wujud being mushtarak ma'navi. It is a concept which has one meaning but many instances. And we mentioned arguments for that. And we said that whether we say al-insan mawjudun, al-shajar mawjudun, al-hajar mawjudun, the concept of mawjud is the same. Although realities of mawjud is different, sometimes it's human being, sometimes it's animal, sometimes it's a plant. Even when we say al-wajibu mawjudun and al-mumkinu mawjudun, the meaning of mawjud is the same. But there is a big difference between our existence and existence of wajibul wujud. Okay, now in the third chapter, we discuss about the difference between concept of wujud and concept of mahiyyah. Philosophers, when they want to say these two concepts are different, they say إن الوجود زائد على الماهية. Means it's different, it's additional concept. Everything in the creation has two sides. I don't say every existence, because wajibul wujud has only one aspect. In wajibul wujud, there is no separation between wujud and mahiyyah. His mahiyyah and wujud are the same. Al-haqqu mahiyyatuhu an-niyyatuh. Inshallah, we'll talk about this later. But in creatures, anything under Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has two dimensions, two aspects. Wujud and mahiyyah. Existence and whatness or quiddity. Wujud is reality. Mahiyyah is what makes it different from other realities. So mahiyyah is about limits, about the borders. So if you have a piece of paper in the shape of triangle, another piece of paper in the shape of a square, what makes them different is not to be paper. What makes them different is where that paper ends. Yeah? So mahiyyah is for limited beings, and it's a matter of how they are defined, how they are different from each other. So sometimes I say this is a reality. This refers to its existence. Sometimes I say, what type of reality is this? This is its mahiyyah. In Farsi, we say hasti and chisti. Hasti is existence, chisti is mahiyat. Because mahiyyah is a noun which is created by us. Mahiyyah means ma yuqalu fi jawab mahu. The answer to the question, what is this thing in its essence, it's called mahiyyah. We say whatness or quiddity. So, al-fasl al-thalith في أن الوجود زائد على الماهية. The third chapter is about the fact that existence is other than mahiyyah. It's additional to mahiyyah, means it's other than mahiyyah. These are not the same concepts. These are two different concepts. عارض لها. Wujud can belong to mahiyyah. You say al-farasu mawjudun. Al-farasu laysa bimawjud. Horse exists or horse doesn't exist. You first think of horse, then you either say that horse has existence or you say it doesn't have existence. But first you have to think about horse. Normally in our mind, we first think of mahiyyah, then we think about wujud. If you remember in the previous course, I mentioned this poem from Haji Sabzawari, rahmatullah alayh, in his Manzuma, because he has made all philosophy and logic as poem, and then he has commentary on them, and then he has footnotes on them. Okay? So he says, إِنَّ الْوُجُودَ عَارِضُ الْمَهِيَّةِ تَصَوُّرًا وَاتَّحَدَ هُوِيَّةً. In our conception, wujud and mahiyyah are different, and wujud comes after mahiyyah. So you say al-faras mawjud, al-insan mawjud. But outside there is one reality. We don't have existence of horse and mahiyyah of horse as two beings. There is one being, but we look at it from two angles. Okay? So, في أن الوجود زائد على الماهية عارض لها. Wujud is additional to mahiyyah, it's other than mahiyyah, and belongs to mahiyyah, comes after, and can be used as a predicate for mahiyyah.
عارض لها
عرض لها للماهية.
ماهية.
Yeah. As Haji says, إن الوجود عارض الماهية تصورا واتحد هوية. Because as I said, in your mind, it's first mahiyyah normally, then wujud. Although, according to asalatul wujud, it's first wujud, then mahiyyah.
I would say wujud first.
No, in the mind. In the mind, you say al-farasu mawjudun. So you first think of faras and then wujud. So, إن الوجود زائد على الماهية بمعنى أن المفهوم من أحدهما غير المفهوم من الآخر. What we understand from one of them is different from what understand from the other. Means these are two different concepts. The concepts are different. One reality outside, but two concepts. فللعقل أن يجرد الماهية عن الوجود. Our intellect, our mind, here we can use intellect or mind in the same sense, although technically they are different, but here we say our intellect, our mind can separate mahiyyah from wujud. What is mahiyyah? ما يقال في جواب ما هو. The answer that you give to the question, what is this? That is mahiyyah. Of course, if you want to be more precise, if it is said, what is this in its essence? Yeah? If I refer to human being and I say, what is this in its essence? You have to say it's mahiyyah. But if you just say, what is this? And you say, it's something that walks. To walk is not mahiyyah. It's araz. You remember kulliyat khams. Yeah? So mahiyyah is to be either gents or fast or no. So al can separate mahiyyah from wujud. فَيَعْتَبِرُهَا وَحْدَهَا, or يَعْتَبِرَهَا وَحْدَهَا means أن يعتبرها. Aql can separate mahiyyah from wujud and just consider mahiyyah only وحدها means only mahiyyah, فَيَعْقِلها and understands mahiyyah. ثُمَّ يَصِفَهَا بِالْوُجُود, then characterizes mahiyyah with existence, ascribes existence to mahiyyah. And this is what we mean by arz, means أن الوجود عارض الماهية, means wujud can be used as a predicate for mahiyyah. So, question, is wujud something inside mahiyyah? No. It's neither part of mahiyyah nor equal to mahiyyah. We had many times this idea that we said existence is not inside mahiyyah, because if existence was part of mahiyyah, then it must have always existed. Yeah? If in the mahiyyah of faras was existence, so faras could not be non-existent. We said al-mahiyyatu mutasawiyatun nisbah ila al-wujud wal-adam. Yeah? Mahiyyah has equal relation with existence and non-existence. Neither existence is taken inside mahiyyah nor non-existence. It's neutral. Faras, it can exist and it can be not existing. None of them is taken as part of faras.
Could you please repeat this Arabic text, mahiyyatu?
Al-mahiyyatu mutasawiyatun nisbah ila al-wujud wal-adam. Or al-mahiyyatu min haythu hiya laysat illa hiya la mawjudah wa la ma'dumah. Okay? So, ليس الوجود عينا للماهية ولا جزءا لا. Wujud is not equal to mahiyyah, so that it is definition of mahiyyah, gens and fas together, nor it is part of it, gens alone or fas alone. When you say insan, you say haywan natiq. You don't say al-mawjud al-haywan natiq. Yeah? Because haywan natiq can exist and also cannot exist. What's the reason that we say these are two things? وَالدَّلِيلُ عَلَيْهِ, the argument for believing that these are two separate concepts is actually more than one argument. We can mention few arguments. But to be honest, you don't need arguments. If you really understand the two concepts, you don't need arguments, obvious. But just if someone is in need of argument. For example, we say, we can deny existence or negate existence from mahiyyah. We can say, al-haywanun natiq has no existence. For example, on the roof here, there is no human being. So if someone says, is human being on the roof? We say, no, there is no human being on the roof. You can think of human being on the roof, but you can also say that it doesn't exist. The one that doesn't exist is human being or not? Yes. It's a human being. Because I'm saying human being doesn't exist. So it's human being, but doesn't exist. So it means that mahiyyah can be understood separate from existence. Yeah? Mahiyyah can be with existence or can be without existence. The concept of mahiyyah and the concept of existence. These are two separate things. So, الدليل عليه, the argument for distinction between these two. First, أن الوجود يصح سلبه عن الماهية. We can negate existence from mahiyyah. If wujud was equal to mahiyyah or was part of mahiyyah, you could not negate it. Can you say there is insan which is not haywan? No. Can you say there is insan which is not natiq? No. But you can say there is insan which doesn't exist. Okay? لو كان عينا أو جزءا لها, if wujud was ain, means equal or part of mahiyyah, لم يصح ذلك, it was not possible to do salb, to negate. Why? لاستحالة سلب عين الشيء وجزئه عنه, because you cannot negate something or part of something from it. Okay? The second argument. If I ask you, does angel exist? You need to argue whether for existence or whether for non-existence. You need to argue. Although you understand what is angel, but that's not enough. You say, I know what is angel, but I have to argue for it. It means that there is a difference between concept of angel and existence of angel. Mahiyyah of angel, we can understand, and still we can be in doubt about its existence, or we can discuss its existence. Maybe someone is doubt, someone is trying to prove. So it's not that everyone who understands angel automatically understands its existence or non-existence. This is another argument that these are two separate things. Okay? Salam. So, حمل الوجود على الماهية يحتاج إلى دليل. If you want to use wujud as a predicate for mahiyyah and say al malaku mawjudun, angel exists, you have to bring argument. حمل الوجود على الماهية يحتاج إلى دليل فليس عينا ولا جزءا لها. So existence is not equal to mahiyyah or part of it, because if it was equal or part of it, we didn't need argument. Do you need to prove that insan is haywan or insan is natiq? If you know insan, you know that insan is haywan and natiq. If you don't know insan, that's another thing. But if you know insan, you don't need to argue for its jins and fasl, because the same thing. لأن ذات الشيء وذاتياته بينة الثبوت له, because the essence and essential parts of anything are self-evident. Philosophers say ذاتي شيء لم يكن معللا. Remember this sentence. ذاتي شيء لم يكن معللا. You don't need to argue for essential parts of something, because if you know that, you know its essentials. Essentials are not separate. We argue for something that can be separate, and then we want to say they exist together. But if something cannot be separate, then you don't need to argue.
What is mu'allal?
Mu'allal means something for which you bring argument to prove. The third argument, الماهية متساوية النسبة في نفسها إلى الوجود والعدم. mahiyyah has equal relation to existence and non-existence. If existence was equal to mahiyyah or part of mahiyyah, استحالت نسبتها إلى العدم. Then it was impossible to have non-existence for mahiyyah, because non-existence is contradictory, is naqid for wujud. If wujud was inside, non-existence could not be anytime applicable. If non-existence was inside, existence could not be applicable. So the fact that you can think any mahiyyah existing or non-existing means none of them is inside. Yeah? If wujud was inside, it must always exist. If Adam was inside, it should always not exist. This is why we say الماهية من حيث هي ليست إلا هي لا موجودة ولا معدومة. Maybe we continue another 10 minutes and then inshallah we can have it. The next chapter, Al-Fasl al-Rabi'. We are, building little by little all the principles for Hikmat Muta'aliyah, transcendent philosophy. Inshallah, we will reach the point about tashkik. So the third thing is asalatul wujud wa i'tibariyatil mahiyah. Al-Fasl al-Rabi' fi asalatul wujud wa i'tibariyatil mahiyah. Now that we understood these are two different concepts, we want to see which one is the main one. Which one, please let's listen carefully. What is the question? Which of these two concepts primarily refers to the reality outside? There's a reality outside, yeah? We have a human being, we have a cat, we have a flower, we have bread, whatever. There is a reality, suppose. That reality has existence and has mahiyyah. So you can say this is a being, you can say this is a bread. Okay? So, which of these two concepts is the main one? Asalatul wujud, primordiality of existence, means which one is first, which one precedes, which one is the main and the other is secondary. Okay? Both of them are possible. We can use them. But which one is the main one? I think it's very easy, inshallah. Just for a moment, think about this. When something exists, its existence is more important or what it is? Its existence is more important. What it is also important, but what it is because of its existence, not the other way around. What it is something that even can be in our mind only when something doesn't exist. Yeah? As I said, the human being which is not on the roof, it has the mahiyyah, but not existence. It's only in my mind. I am thinking of someone on the roof and I say it doesn't exist. But existence, if is there, it always brings mahiyyah. But mahiyyah doesn't bring existence. So, philosophers address this issue. Of course, as far as we know, Ayatollah Mutahari has this discussion. He says, as far as we know, it's not in this book, it's Ayatollah Mutahari's idea. We had it before. Before Mullah Sadra, this was not an independent question in philosophy. Now we have a topic, Asalatul Wujud or Asalatul Mahiyyah. Which one is correct? Is Wujud Asil Mahiyyah Etibari or vice versa? This is now for us a question. Ayatollah Mutahari says before Mullah Sadra, this was not an independent question. So, therefore, it's possible that a philosopher maybe in some places has talked in the way that you think he believes in Asalatul Wujud. But maybe in another place he talks in the way that maybe he believed in Asalatul Mahiyyah. Because this was not a question for them. This is very important. Many times when something is not for you a question and you speak about it, then you may not be consistent. If you are not in maqam bayan, you are not, talking about this issue, it's very important that when you analyze any speaker, you must be considering what questions he was answering. Otherwise, you cannot, say this is his idea if he didn't refer to this point. Do you understand? This is different from Quran. When it comes to Quran, we can go to the Quran even with new questions and know that it answers. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala anticipated all our questions. But we cannot go to the text or a speech of a scholar or any person who lived 500 years ago and say you have to give answer to all my questions. Maybe he didn't think about this question. Maybe he has spoken about the things that can be used today. That's different. If an issue was not at all there, for example, just a very simple example. Maybe you read someone's text and he doesn't speak about internet. He said you read, you study, you do Salih Rahim, you do Ziyarah. So can you imply or infer that he was against using internet? This was not his question. His question was about those things which were available at that time. So you have to be very careful in analyzing people's ideas. Sometimes we have this discussion when people want to propose a topic for dissertation. They bring a contemporary issue and then they say what this alim, for example, who lived a few hundred years ago, says about this issue. So I said this is something very careful, very delicate. Did he think about this issue so that you can now say he holds this position? Because we cannot from our pocket bring something and say this was what Sheikh Mufid was saying about this issue. Okay? There must be enough ground in his ideas that enable us to say that if he lived today, he would have said like this. Anyway, Quran and Ahlul Bayt are different because they talk for all human beings in all ages. But other people, they can think about things as much as they can foresee. Okay? So, before Mullah Sadra, the question of Asalatul Wujud or I'tibariyatul Wujud, or on the other hand, Asalatul Mahiyyah or I'tibariyatul Mahiyyah, this question was not explicit question. This was not an independent philosophical question. Therefore, you may find philosophers before Mullah Sadra were not consistent. For the most part, Masha'un were like Ibn Sina in favor of Asalatul Wujud, and Ishraqiyun in favor of Asalatul Mahiyyah. But maybe you don't find anywhere Ibn Sina says, I believe in Asalatul Wujud, because this was not a question. You understand? Right now, we address this as a question.
Maybe there are hints in his work.
Pardon?
Maybe there are hints in the work
Ah,
of
hints.
Sina,
Yes.
which he preferred.
Yes, yes. So this is based on those hints and positions that we say, okay, he must have this kind of idea. You know, there are many issues that in the past, maybe they were not explicit question, but today is explicit question. Yeah? For example, today we talk about human rights. And you don't find any scholar unless he has a position, he has an understanding, he has a kind of stance about this. But maybe 1,000 years ago, this was not an explicit question in the sense that today it's explicit, just as an idea. Anyway, Masha'un, for the most part, when you look at their text, seems they believe in Asalatul Wujud. And Ishraqiyun, Asalatul Mahiyyah. Mullah Sadra, of course, very clearly believed in Asalatul Wujud, and it's one of the foundations of his transcendent philosophy. Can someone say, I want to reconcile, I believe in Asalatul Wujud wal Mahiyyah. I believe in both of them. Allama Tabatabai says it's not possible. Because we have one reality. We cannot have two realities. And that one reality we want to see, it's primarily noticed or notified or introduced by wujud or mahiyyah. It cannot be both. And it cannot be none. You say neither existence nor mahiyyah. It has to be one of them. You have to tell us which one is the main, which one has the primordiality. Okay? Is it wujud or is it mahiyyah? Still we are talking about mafhum. Is mafhumul wujud or mafhum of mahiyyah? Which one? So al-fasl al-rabi' fi asalat al-wujud wa i'tibariyat al-mahiyyah. Inna la nartabu. We don't have any doubt. Raib means doubt, yeah? Unnecessary doubt, of course. We don't have any doubt في أن هناك أمورا واقعية ذات آثار واقعية. We don't have any doubt that there are things which are real and have real effects. Do you have any doubt about water and its effect, about fire and its effect, about food and its effect? You don't have doubt. ليست بوهم الواهم. It's not that it's confusion or illusion of someone who is just confused.
Wow.
So there are realities. ثم ننتزع من كل من هذه الأمور المشهودة لنا في عين أنه واحد في الخارج مفهومين اثنين. We abstract, we draw out of these realities, although each of them is one, but we draw two concepts. One is wujud, one is mahiyyah. Do you accept everything is one, or you don't accept everything is one? Existence is one. Yeah. Everything is one. You cannot say everything is two. So the question is, this one thing, we are taking two mafhum at least. Of course, we can take many mafhum, but at least its existence and its mahiyyah. Which of these two precedes? Which of these two is the primary? Yes.
Everything is one in essence.
No, every reality is one. Because inshallah we will discuss later, all beings have tashakhus. They are individuation. They are one.
Recognition.
Yeah. Every reality is one. Every reality cannot be two realities. In the mind, we have kulli. In kharij, we don't have kulli. Kulli is only for mafahim. Yeah? Anything which is outside is one reality. Yes.
Can we say this al-mahiyyatu zihniyatun wal wujudun khariji?
Yes. But even if mahiyyah is khariji, for there is a faras, there is a horse outside. Again we say what is outside really is wujud. Yes. So we take from these things which are witnessed by us, mashhuda, we perceive them, we see them, despite the fact that they are one in external world, we take two concepts, mafhumain ithnain. Kullun minhuma ghayrul akhar mafhuman. Each of these two concepts is different from the other. Conceptually they are different. They have two different meanings. Wa in ittahada mistaqan. But they refer to the one case, the same case, yeah? So we say this is mawjood and this is faras. This is mawjood and this is human being. This is mawjood and this is flower. Huma al-wujudu wal-mahiyyah. These two concepts are wujud and mahiyyah. Kal-insan alladhi fil kharij. A human being which is outside in the real world. When we say kharij, means it is not in our mind only. It's a reality outside. Yeah, alam kharij means the external world. Al-insan alladhi fil kharij. Al-muntaza' an. We abstract from that insan which is in kharij, which is in reality, two things. First, annahu insanun. It's a human being. And second, annahu mawjood. قد اختلف الحكماء في الأصيل منهما. Philosophers have disagreed which one of these two is asil, is the main one, is primordial. فذهب المشاؤون, peripatetic philosophers like Ibn Sina who follow Aristotle, they have gone for asalatul wujud. Bahman, Yar, Mirdama, these are philosophers. وَنُسِبَ إِلَى الْإِشْرَاقِيِّينَ, followers of Sheikh Shahabuddin Suhrawardi, they were Platonic. Nuseba, because they didn't expressly, said about this. It's attributed to them that their, opinions seems compatible with someone who believes in asalat mahiyyah. Al-qawl bi-asalat al-mahiyyah. Amma al-qawl bi-asalatihima ma'an. But to say that both of them are asil, فَلَمْ يَذْهَبْ إِلَيْهِ أَحَدٌ منهم. None of the philosophers has taken this position. لِاسْتِلْزَامِ ذَلِكَ كَوْنَ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ شَيْئَيْنِ اثْنَيْنِ. كُلُّ شَيْء becomes شَيْئَيْنِ. Everything becomes two. وَهُوَ خِلَافُ الضَّرُورَةِ. This is against our self-evident understanding. وَالْحَقُّ مَا ذَهَبَ إِلَيْهِ الْمَشَّاؤُونَ مِنْ أَصَالَةِ الْوُجُودِ. The right position, the correct position is asalatul wujud, which is what Masha'un have said. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin.